Virtual vibe sanity is what we're hoping for.
Hello VR fans, how the devil are you? So great to have you down here at Brain Man Virtual Reality Reviews, where every single week I review either a virtual reality game or some kind of experience. And this week it's going to be an experience. So without further ado, please join me in going from reality to virtual reality, where today, my friends, we are going on an adventure to somewhere a little bit different from the norm. Today we're going to go to the Museum of Other Realities. So without further ado, let's chop chop and load it straight up, get into the action. Chop chop. So my first impressions are that even the building itself is very beautiful. I don't know whether it's a convenience, but I like that this thing over here, I can't quite point at it. Let me point. If you pull the trigger, you go from a rectangle to a pointer finger. This thing here right in front of me looks a little bit like the PlayStation controller. If you think about it, like moving away from you. And so here's a map showing you where everything is. You can go and find like Blort. I know of a thing called Blortasia. Fishbowl is over there. So look, we're over there. Oh look, there's someone else attending. Look, this person is another person. Smart VC service. Someone else attending the museum. So you get to, you don't talk, I think you can talk to them if you want to. There's a social button. What do? You do the top menu button, and then you can join, invite, ban. So hitting the top menu button, and then you can kind of go around and look at the exhibits with people if you want, whether strangers or otherwise. But you know, it's pretty good. So these are the people who are in here. So let's say Harold, because where's Harold? Okay, Harold. Oh, right over there on the far side. So you can see where all these people are. So these people seem to be outside the main body of the museum. But look, let's say we want to go to Night Snow. That's there. So if I'm there, I need to go beyond. So if I'm here, I'm trying to go. So I'm there. Oh, right next to smart service person. Ellie's here. All right, hello. So the route to go is to follow this line. Ha! Okay. So I don't particularly want to go and see this. But if I follow this line that has been traced through the sky, I can go and see a specific experience, which was Kevin Mack, Devalia Rupanam Houdini, Unity 2020. So, if you look at this down, free float area, if you teleport into here, you can just guide yourself around by moving in 3 dimensions. So, just using the top of the big button, I can point in whatever direction I go. I can point behind myself if I want to back off. So we can go down here, and I think if you do 2, you go faster. So we can go and examine the floor. We can go up the walls here. So I'm double thumbing, big thumb button, I'm hitting the top of it with both fingers. And I think this is the highest height you can go to. Not possible to go above the level of the rim of this skating bowl. It'd be nice to get rid of that horrible circle now that I'm here. Right, well, I'll just look at the other one then. So like this is pretty unique. So someone's made this beautiful, amorphous, ever-changing blob, which reminds me a lot of an experience called blurtasia, which I reviewed some weeks back. But now everyone's doing blurtasia, you know? So this is a sort of constantly evolving shape and structure, and you can see the colours and textures warp across it. Every now and again you can see when it's on a specific angle, you can kind of get a sense of what the original texture was that they're wrapping around these strange shapes. I'll see if I spot one later. Like this, these colours look like the colours out of a cartoon, so I wonder whether they've taken kind of comic book images and just wrap them around this space. Wrap them around these unusual shapes. Like you can get right inside it. Isn't that amazing? So you can be inside the art looking out. This looks like some kind of sunfish, the one with all the spines in all directions. So the music also changes. Ooh, now I really am inside the art. Yeah, the music changes with each art piece. So I think these are like audio-visual experiences. So let's go down and see what was at the root of all this. Yeah, I remember seeing all these tendrils down here. Oh, that's cool, isn't it? Beautiful. So this is great. This is like going to an art gallery without having to leave your home. Well, I've never seen anything like this at the Tate Modern. But this is genuinely a unique experience. Okay, so I don't think I've ever been down here. I've seen this thing before, but I've never. I see, this is just information. Devalia Rupanam is Sanskrit for temple of all kinds of shapes. It was created by VRRV FX pioneer Kevin Mack. Ancient temples and churches feature paintings and sculptures of 13th saints. Okay, very good. Okay. So let us move to another exhibit. If you notice, the music stopped. So let's just revisit this one. As you get closer, it gets louder and louder. And what I'm interested to know is, will the music here be different to the music here? Let's go down here and get away from that in one circle. There you go, as promised. So much more to see. I could spend a very long time just examining each piece of art, you know, put justice to all the effort the person put in to make, Kevin Mack put in to make it 3D, and then whoop, drop out of the free float area. Nah. Donk. No? Yeah, there you go. And you can still do that thing where you walk around by using top of one thumb button to go quite slowly, and then two thumb buttons to go a bit faster, which is better than having a cursor. What's going on here? We have a hot dog and a hamburger. And now I'm going to use one thumb button so I can move around reverently with reasonable speed. Ha ha! I think the hot dog is hungry for some burger. Oh look, even its legs are up. So what's this down here? Maybe I'll speed things up by hitting the bottom of the thumb button to teleport. So sometimes with these things, wow, look at that. Sometimes you can teleport into it. Ahoy! Now that is unusual, isn't it? Like usually when you see an exhibit, you sit there, you see an exhibit, you want to touch it. You absolutely, most definitely cannot. But now you can come in the Museum of Other Realities and you can just have a little walk around. You know, steer it so that you get yourself in a position where you can walk around freely. You know, someone's like drawn every aspect of this in 3D through, I guess, a process of additive design, is it called? So whereas a sculptor is subtractive, taking the outside stuff away until it reveals what's inside the stone, this is an additive process where you're obviously adding pixels. What's going on here? That emotional expression. That woman is clearly finding some comfort in holding on to this strong looking man. Look here. What's this? What are these things coming out of his hand? These strange bottles. Looks like someone's been having quite a party. Okay, again, it's easy to spend too long. I'm going to give you a quick tour, give you a taste of what's to come here if you want to take a look yourself. Well, that's pretty dark, Let's get back out there. What's this? Oh yes, this circle here I think is a way of getting in and out of universes. Press here to float. Yeah, look, so you can step through to go into the ultimate reality. Isn't that mad? And then you can see the portal, you can always step back through any time you like. As long as you don't get caught by that hoop, I think you can stay in the ultimate. Oh. So clever, isn't it? They've thought of everything. Oh, you can drive around in here. Oh, I didn't realise that before. I came in a quick peek, so I wouldn't bore you with my incompetence. I'm stuck on basics. Oh, isn't it cool? This is a very black and white world. Not quite sure what this is. Asteroid? And that's definitely a spaceship. Maybe the rest is parts of spaceship. No, it was in the cockpit, no. Okay, let's go back into the real world again. Okay, so we've seen that. There's some people. I think we'll play with. Oh, what was that? I wasn't expecting that to happen. Whoa! Strange glimpses of other things. It's very similar to what we saw earlier. Just ignore that. Let's see what's around. Oh yeah, look, this is another one where I believe you can teleport inside. Nice. So I like this way they use vivid colours, but against black tree trunks. Oh, look at those vines. Like I quite often come into these pieces of art and see what other people have decided to do. Probably people with much more artistic talent. And I start thinking, well, yeah, I could manage that. I could draw a tree and then put some luminescent moss. Hello. Hello, Ellie. Hello. You don't have any hands, that's a bit weird. You leave a trail of leaves when you're awake. Lovely touch that. So I guess that's something that the artist decided to do. So if you've been walking through the leaves, then your path makes them drop. What a lovely little extra feature. Oh wow, you can get up into the trees. Ha! You can get up into the trees. Thanks, Ellie, for making me aware of this thing I didn't know. It's possible. Wow. Hi. Oh wow, you can climb the trees. That's tremendously exciting. Ooh. Wow, that was so much more fun than I thought it was going to be, just looking at it from a distance. Uh-oh, going around in circles. Ah. Ha-ha! Look, and there's an outside part with dinosaurs in it. You got your dinosaurs. You've got your brave explorer running after the diamond. Not sure whether the dinosaurs will approve. Nice dinosaur sounds. So there's obviously some interesting stuff going on over here. I can see some spinal cords flying through the air, but around every corner there's some more experiences. So here we've got a nice scene of some nasty monster behind bars who's perhaps been given an apple by this greedy monster. We've got a nice underwater scene. Presumably you can stick your head inside it. Ah, look at that. Great clarity. These robot shark, robot jellyfish, and this big old tuna. Is it a tuna? I don't know, but it's really cool. Very nice use of cue. Got some pterodactyls and some, I can't remember what those are called. What's this? Doesn't quite look like a diplodocus, maybe a gigantosaur. Yeah, and I learn a lot from the use of colours. Like, I'm not an artist, but dark blue, mid blue, or greyish blue, and then light. So these greenies with their orange go faster stripes. Some lovely pterodactyls up there. Look at that. Beautiful. What a great crest on its head. Okay, let's go and see these spiny creatures. And look at that. Look at that for creation. Ooh, the bubble. Oh, am I in the water? I'm switching around. Woo! Piranha. Piranha shoaling around a sea anemone by the look of things. Very nice. But there's surprises around every corner in the Museum of Other Realities. And then there's things like this at the end, which make you think, what the hell is that? You've got your butterflies. Very pretty. I like the way they twitch periodically. So I'm usually drawn to the brighter colours like this, and I stay away from the muted ones, but what's going on here? Ooh, good sound effects with crickets and cicadas. Nice sort of flame trails on those leaves or shells, flowers. Let's see what's over here. Ligne de fleur. It's a series of tilt brush illustrations by US-based artist Sabi Life. Part of the 365 days of... Ha! Microscopic striations on leaves and petals. Oh, and here again, similar thing. Can I bring to life maybe what the UV features that our eyes can't see, but that the insects and birds can? I was not expecting my shadow to look like that. Okay, let's go and see what this incredible thing is here. Ice creams, eating ice creams. They look at each other. Wicked. Whoa, dude. What is this, dude? That's pretty funny, dude. Ooh. Audio reactive. Ooh. La 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 la. Oh, it's because I haven't got the sound. Let's see. In order to save you listening to my snorting. So that one's movement reactive, but audio reactive. Oh, oh. What's audio reactive? Cooey. Hello. Do 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 do. You have to. Woo! Woo! Well, they seem to react to my point. I'm turn the mic off. I don't want to have to edit out the snorting. So wherever you point, they seem to run away from. You lot go left, you lot go right, you go back up. Ha, they can't get past. So the direction I'm pointing creates like a vortex. You have to find another way there. Oh wow. Amazing. Amazing. Oh look, it's raining. This, you know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of when you're at a bonfire and a little bit of ash, like lighter than air, sort of float. They go up and they go down, and they sometimes catch sparks from the fire. They've obviously got greens and blues here. Yeah, I think because these could be quite scary. But because they are, is it the music that makes them unintimidating? What's going on here when they hit the ground? Get away! Wow. Actually, if all art is reactive. Oh, so this is the downstairs of that little dustbin. You should have guessed that, down some stairs. Oh, let's have a read of it. See, the dimension of this room really reminded me of being in the Tate Modern for real. Like, I lived very close to it for years, and I used to go there all the times, on special occasions, just to pass the time. I think they've designed the spaces really nicely. Scobot. Oh. Whoa. Press here to flow. That's weird. I wasn't expecting to see that wall when you approach it. And then it invites you into the... I feel like I'm in a comic because of the ink splatters. Again, lots of use of blacks, vivid colours in the background. That seems to be the way to go in virtual reality, which is good for me because I naturally... Why are my hands buzzing? Whoa! Is it going through something? Wow. This place is big. Well, you can travel much faster in here than you can in the rest of the museum. Oh. See if I can go up and use column of light. How do you get out? Very meditative, very chill being here. And again, in such a dark place, if the music was scary, it could be quite intimidating. But this is quite, I don't know, wondrous, chill. But imagine if you had to, the only way out, like in a real museum, was to find the doorway through which you came in. That would be an absolute nightmare. But happily, I think you can just... Oh. I now, having explored its innards, I have a desire to pop out the top and look back down, see it from the bird's eye view. Now when you're in the main body of the museum, oh look, that's the way out. Oh, that's clever. It looks the same. It looks the same as it did when I first approached it before it turned into a portal. I'm just curious. It might be infinite, but I'm curious to see what it will look like from the outside. You know, I think it's just going to continue to create layers. Okay, well, seeing as I found the way out, I might as well exit through the gift shop and honour the Banksy and buy overpriced goods. Yeah, that's a nice thing. If you need a cup of tea, you don't have to go and find the cafeteria. You can just go over to a cup of pre-prepared tea and have a sip. And right now, after that much art, I do need a break. Whoa, half an hour. Okay. You're gonna reach a satisfying close. We're going down here. And then pop back in to the original reality, or other reality. The base camp that is... Back we are. Isn't that amazing? You wouldn't think that that shimmering wall contained such a vast world. Okay, we'll look at one more exhibit. Actually, again, this one doesn't look that interesting, but I wonder if you can transport into it. Just because it looks tiny doesn't mean that there's not cool stuff to behold. Wow, modern living. Let's see if we can teleport in. Yeah, we can teleport in. Ha ha! Who'd live in a place like this? Oh wow, flying car. Oh, so cool. Imagine living in a place like this. Duck in the door. Look there. It's got trees growing through it. Look at this I don't know lol person. Come on, just teleport in, don't be shy. So I have to say, I think this museum's so well put together. Like, it's obviously evolved over a long, long period of time. Oh, I can go. Check my plants. Cabbage, maybe have that for dinner. Oh wow, magic. Magic. Okay, so from here we shall depart. So let's fast forward. So from virtual reality back to reality. Whew, the Museum of Other Realities. Now you know that I have quite high standards for virtual reality experiences. I've done an awful lot over the last couple of years, and you know, I want to see a virtual reality experience that can enable you to do something that you cannot do in the real world, and the Museum of Other Realities does exactly that. Because while there are you know, museums of modern art all over the world, which can give you a similar experience of moving around in these big, high-ceilinged, wide-walled kind of environments, and you can look at the beautiful art that people have created. The difference with this one is that you capture all of that great stuff of being in a building where the architecture is aesthetically pleasing in and of itself. So it took those big rooms and then kind of made really curved, almost impossible to achieve in the real world architectural feats. The building itself looked beautiful, but then also the type of art that you can experience in VR goes above and beyond what is possible to experience in reality. So things I liked included, if you've created a 3D space where you've curated the sounds and the visuals that you're going to see all over the place, the fact that you can fly through it, like, you know, you probably know what it feels like to walk up to a painting and kind of look at it from different perspectives. To walk around a sculpture is very satisfying because it's by looking at it from a variety of different perspectives that you start to grasp the ingenuity of the sculptor's skill and the beauty of what they've managed to create. So, you know, the fact that you can now do that in levitation mode, you're kind of flying up, down, left and right, all the way around these sculptures that aren't even static. They're constantly evolving. The shape is changing, the colors, the textures that are coated around those shapes are also changing, and it's quite mesmerizing. Like one piece alone, you could end up spending, you know, 10, 20, 30 minutes just sort of scrutinizing different aspects of it. And as with a real gallery, you get this sense of exploration and discovery, but the kind of things you can discover, like those weird black fish sort of falling down with little luminescent streaks on them, like that was truly mesmerizing. Looking over the edge and seeing the shoal of piranhas protectively sort of shoaling and swimming around in the sea anemone type thing. Like the flights of fancy that you can encounter aren't just sort of limited to stuff you see on a shelf or central in a room. They can be streaming down from the ceiling. You can see it like right at the end of a long corridor where every time you turn left or right, there's something there. But you want to see this big, impressive looking thing at the end. So what I liked about it was I was constantly delighted. Even after sort of 15, 30 minutes, usually you feel like you've seen it all. But I feel like there's always going to be more stuff to discover that's going to fill me with delight as someone who kind of likes looking at art anyway. I'm not an art buff, I don't do it all the time, but I do really enjoy marveling at other people's creations. And another thing that's great for me as someone who's now building his own VR experiences is it's an amazing environment in which I don't have to go anywhere, and I can look at these incredible artists' work and I can think, oh, I like that feature, I'll nick that, and not nick it, but I'll emulate that in my next VR experience. So I'm blown away, and presuming that in the Museum of Other Realities they'll sort of change the exhibits, that if you go back every month or so, they'll have shuffled things around, new 3D artist stuff will have been brought in and will replace the existing stuff, or they might just extend the building ad infinitum to make room for the new art that's being created all the time. So, as always, you just can't tell by watching it on a flat screen telly quite how fun it is to go around and look at all this art. So there's only one thing to do, people, is to get it. I'm going to give the Museum of Modern Art, what might be the first time, I'm going to give it 8 out of 10, because it also has the capacity to grow and grow and grow and almost expand the definition of what art is in the virtual reality medium. You could extend it and extend it and extend it, and you could even have bits of art where there's a gamification, where you're like, is this a game? Is this a piece of art? What actually is it? We saw the use of sound, teleporting into things. People haven't yet fully tapped everything that VR can do, and we are living in an era where all of that stuff's going to happen. So watch this space. Museum of Other Realities is fantastic, and I haven't even mentioned a great way for 3D artists to share their work with the entire world. Well, at least the tiny slice of the world that can actually currently afford a VR headset. But the prices are coming down. Hey, who knows? Maybe everyone will be able to get involved someday. So that's it for this week. Thank you so much for coming down. It's always a pleasure to have you here. And I will catch you next week. Please like, subscribe, comment, say hi. I've had a few people say, hey, do you want to be friends? Can't work out whether they're being genuine, but who cares? At least I'm finally getting some interaction from the great world out there. So have a great week. And I think there's 8 to go. And I've got some brilliant VR experiences and games lined up for the closing, as we close in on that 50th episode mark, where I will hang up my YouTubing hat and take a break from it all. But yeah, great to see you. Catch you next week.
Life. Reality.